On Monday, Nike unveiled a new ad that is enraging some conservatives. Now, that, of course, features Colin Kaepernick. Already interesting. And uses the, quote, believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. To which, of course, heads exploded. Now, look, Colin Kaepernick is, to some people, a controversial figure. Not controversial at all. I think he's absolutely right. But because of the way that he decided to protest racial inequality, got him blackballed within the NFL, despite him having an actually decent record as a player. Again, he was, and I'm not a football guy, admittedly, but wasn't he part of the team that won the NFC Championship? And according to his stats, he has thrown for 12,270 yards to go along with 72 touchdown passes with only 30 interceptions. He's also rushed for 2,300 yards and 13 touchdowns. So, again, I'm not a huge football guy, but that doesn't sound too terrible. But regardless, you have conservatives and NFL owners, let's be honest, outraged. Now, as far as some NFL fans go, they are calling to boycott Nike over this. Okay, hey, look, you want to boycott Nike, that's fine. Okay, you're upset with them using an ad with Colin Kaepernick, an ad deal. Fine, whatever, right? But no, they're going to take it a step further. This is where it gets absurd. Again, boycotts are okay. You want to boycott? I think Nike's going to survive without your money. They're a, $30 billion industry? Okay, whatever. But with conservatives, as I said, that's not going to be enough. They then have to film themselves destroying things that they have already paid for. Okay. Let me give you an example here. Now, this is the video here I'm going to show you is from Sean Clancy, who, along with the video, has a corresponding tweet saying, first, the NFL forces me to choose between my favorite sport and my country. I chose country. Then Nike forces me to choose between my favorite shoes and my country. Since when did the American flag and the national anthem become offensive? I will get to his question after this hilarious video of him burning his own shoes.
You know how many other sneakers there are to buy, to choose from? You're going to go ahead and say, hey, buy them our shoes. We stand with people who kneel for the national anthem. Well, sorry, Nike. I've been buying you for the past 20 plus years. Not anymore. Not only am I burning my favorite pair of Nikes, you are burning your sales. Have a good day.
Dude, you just burned your shoes. And you're like, winner. I'm winning here. You burned your favorite pair of shoes. You just said, man, this is my favorite pair of shoes. But, yeah, man, I got to burn them. But you're burning your sales. No, you're not. Nike, again, they're over $30 billion company this year, I think, from what they made. It might have been in a quarter. They're an extremely wealthy company. Your boycott is not going to do anything. And you burning your shoes after you paid for them is not going to do anything. Oh my God, these people. Holy crap. But look, let me address what he talks about, right? So, when did the American flag and the national anthem become offensive? But that's not what it's about. That's not what any of this is about. You know what actually is offensive? For one, rampant ignorance, which this is a great example of. But more importantly, racial injustice. Why do you think he was protesting? He was protesting against racial injustice. But unfortunately, there is this narrative driven by Fox News and right-wing media that says, no, if you protest, if you kneel during the anthem, you are disrespecting the flag and you are disrespecting the troop, you are disrespecting the military. That's not true. That's complete and utter BS. In fact, Colin Kaepernick, he had asked veterans before he protested if this was the right thing to do. Hey, man, is this disrespectful to you? Do you feel disrespected when I kneel quietly during the national anthem? And they said, no, absolutely not. We fought for your right to protest, to, redress your government with grievances. And so, hey, here's our blessing. Have fun. Now, look, and the other funny thing about this story is Colin Kaepernick was barely getting any attention for this protest until the conservative Snowflake Patrol came around and found this to be absolutely outrageous and came up with this fake narrative. But let me ask you something. Was it outrageous when Tim Tebow kneeled in protest of abortion? Just go back to 2012. Tim Tebow was kneeling during the anthem to protest against abortion. Were you outraged then? Nobody was outraged. It was barely a story. But a black man kneels to protest police brutality and racial injustice, and everybody goes insane. Well, there's a difference here. Tebow was kneeling for good old conservative Christian values. Well, that's perfectly acceptable. But when you kneel for, to get awareness of and to try to stop police violence against black people, well, that is disrespectful. That is outrageous. You're disrespecting the flag. How dare you bring in attention to an issue that we don't actually care about? And that, of course, that issue is Black lives. Not only is this a gigantic self-own, but it also shows the privilege of the people who are protesting, or who are burning their own stuff. Nikes, they're not cheap. There's a reason I didn't get Nikes when I was a kid. I did not grow up with money, okay? So, but the people that have these articles of clothing that they're cutting up, and again, they're either burning them or they're cutting the Nike swooshes off them, which is ridiculous, right? To do this for your stupid protest shows that in a lot of cases, the people involved haven't been asked to sacrifice anything. And look, if there are veterans that are doing this, this isn't about you. This isn't about disrespecting veterans, the military, or this country. The whole point was to try to make the country better for people who have historically had it pretty bad. And while we're on the subject, if you really feel the need to boycott Nike, again, remember they're $1 billion company that outsources much of their labor to low-wage countries. So they've even employed or been charged with employing child labor. So they have multiple issues, multiple problems. You want to boycott them for that? Great, that's a boycott I can get behind. But to do it for this, and to burn things that you've already paid for in what is hilariously a giant self-own, is the height of both privilege and stupidity. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.